welcome to the Frisco Democratic Club. Thank you so very much for coming in. Give yourselves a round of applause for coming out. I know that this is not a normal day, and I deeply apologize for that. We usually meet on the fourth Friday of the month. We have a special issue already, and that's not going to happen again to make sure that we have our roots here for the next couple of months. But another apology I want to give is I would like to ask everyone's patience. Apparently, we only have one waiter right now, at least for receiving orders. But we do have other people, food deliverers that will come in. So we ask for your patience. We deeply apologize for that. Or if you go to the bar, you might be able to get a drink faster that way. I'm not sure. But that said, welcome to the Frisco Democratic Club. We are, first of all, raise up hands. Who's the first time here? Oh, good. Well, thank you very much for coming out. Here at the Frisco Democratic Club, we have 2 events every month. We have a breakfast club and we have this happy hour. So go to friscodemocrats.org for more information there to find out more information about us. What we like to do here is we get to have this happy hour. It's a safe space for Democrats to meet and meet like-minded individuals. We also allow our candidates to introduce themselves as well. We usually have a couple of candidates who show up. Again, this is kind of like our off time. And there was also a very big, massive, major event last night. So I think we just have one candidate this time walking around the room, just to make sure there's not another candidate. All right. So that said, sometimes they do sneak in, so I don't see it. But again, we're the Frisco Democratic Club. I forgot my prompt, but there's a QR code on your table. If you would like to become a member, please do. It would help us out a lot. If you scan the QR code, come to our website, become a member, or if you just want to donate to us, we would really love that too. We're not just a club, we are also a PAC, a political action committee. What that means is, right before the general election, we take surplus funds and we give that to our candidates who are running for office here in Frisco. So it's not just supporting our club operations, it's also supporting our candidates as well. So if you'd like to become a member, that'd be great, it would be really helpful. I also want to give a shout out and kind of a recognition to our board members. If you're a board member, please raise your hand. Yeah, thank you guys very much for supporting this group. These are also our local Democratic experts, so if you have any questions, those who raise their hands, go ahead and come out to them. And also, if you would like to become a board member as well, we do have a need for a communications director, or basically someone to handle social media, and a secretary, who basically their job is to take meeting minute notes whenever we have our PAC board meeting. So, that said, I also want to make sure that we're aware of what's going on here in Frisco, Texas, in politics, and the events coming up in the area. So, I'll first talk about the event last night. We had a really great event called LBJ Obama. That's the Denton County's yearly major fundraiser. Calhoun County has it around, but we had our Denton County one. I'll be posting the video of that recording last night online a little bit later today. But it was really awesome. We had 2 state house representatives actually show up in person. James Talrico and also Vicki Goodwin. And I tell you all, it was so good to see them in person because I was afraid, I knew they fled the state in order to break that quorum. And so I was sitting here thinking, man, are they going to be talking to us through a jail cell? But no, they did show up, so it's really good. So we're recording that. Vicki Goodwin, she's not just a state house representative. You may see the advertisements around here. She's also running to be our lieutenant governor. She's going to be taking on Deanne Patrick, so that's really awesome. Also, I want to go over the events that are going on in the area. There's lots of events, but I will highlight the county is having a picnic. I'm going to look at Jeremy Sipka and make sure I got this right. I think it's Haggard Park at what time? 4 p.m. Okay, I got that right. So 4 p.m. Haggard Park. There's also a protest on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday in McKinney. And if you want to find any information about these events, and also almost all the events in our area, go to the Mobilize website. There's a website called mobilize.us. It's not .com, it's mobilize.us. If you go there, it's going to show you all the Democratic events happening in the area. Mobilize.us is the go-to place to figure out what Democratic happenings are going on. Our events are on there, and so are the other Democratic clubs as well. So, protest also is this coming Wednesday, the 27th. If you like to, if you're not a fan our Senator Corn, we can protest in front of his office this Wednesday. There's also going to be repeating events. Every 2 weeks, there's going to be this protest in front of Senator Corn's office. One last thing I'll plug real quick. It's not too far away from here, but I do want to plug Progressive Toastmasters. Progressive Toastmasters is a safe space for Democrats to come and meet like-minded individuals, but also if you would like to, practice public speaking or listen to other Democratic leaders practice their public speaking as well. I think we actually have 2 of our Progressive Toastmasters here, so it's coming out. And if you want to find out more information about us, you go to Facebook and you search for Progressive Leaders Toastmasters. We meet every single Monday at 7 p.m. Progressive Leaders Toastmasters. You put that into Facebook. And also, if you're getting cold feet or you just can't make it because it's too far, we also have Zoom as well. So we do hope that people show up in person, but if you just want to see what it's like, just check out the Zoom and you can see what Progressive Leaders Toastmasters is like. So that's a lot of opportunities here to get involved and get involved with Democrats in politics. Speaking of getting involved with Democrats in politics, I want to plug a very good friend of mine. Her name is Hannah Johnson. She ran for office for State House HD 106 this last session. And I commend her for that, and I was really, really hoping that she would run again. And she's phenomenal. We campaigned together in this last election cycle, back when I ran for SD 30. Unfortunately, she did move away. So she moved to McKinney. So she's over with the Democrats now. But we lost our Democratic candidate to run for our state house. So if there's anyone that you know, and or yourself, if you're interested in running for office, we need someone to run against Jared Patterson for State House HD 106. If you live on the Denton County side of Frisco, he is our horrible, horrible state house representative. He pushes school vouchers. He was voted the #1 conservative by the Dallas Morning News, according to the voting records. So this man has run unopposed before. In fact, cycle before last, we had 3 out of 5 state house races run unopposed inside Denton County. So we're really going to need someone to run for state house since we didn't lose our good friend Nava, but she's close by. But we're going to need some coverage on the Denton County side for that. So that said, what other things am I going to talk about? I want to say that I think if I look at this big event right here, I don't know if everyone can see it. I want to thank everyone who gave their donations. I'm assuming whoever put their person there is not a donation. So we're doing a donation drive right now for Sacks for Seniors. And are we continuing that?
We're going to wrap it up today. There's a man.
Okay.
Bring it to my house.
Okay, all right. Well, we will say thank you very much for all those who donated. As a club, we also kind of want to support our local community. So this is Sacks for Seniors, and I think the coverage is, I think, all the DFW area, and it helps out elderly individuals who need these grocery items and things like that. So let's give a round of applause. Thank you, Sharon, for supporting this program. There we go. So, that says Sacks for Seniors. I'm just going to plug some information real quick because I do want to make sure that everyone understands what is going on when it comes to politics in our area. I want to talk about the County Commissioner's Court. So here in Calhoun County, y'all are being moved over to paper ballots that you'll fill out. Sorry? Hand-marked ballots, I'm sorry. We're moving over to hand-marked ballots. Now, from what I understand, and I think we'll confirm this later. Sorry, simply up here. I believe the hand-marked ballots will still be scanned and tabulated. That is currently what we have in Denton County right now. But I do want to be a little bit wary here, because while we have that in Denton County right now, there's a woman named Melinda Preston. And Melinda Preston is now the GOP chair for the Denton County side. So kind of like how the Collin County Democratic Party is to Jeremy Swifka, well, the Denton County Republican Party is to Melinda Preston. And now that we have, paper ballots, and while they are scanned by a scanning machine, Melinda Preston's campaign is to get rid of the electronic scanners, and what that will do is it will force the county to count all paper ballots by computer hand. Now, I understand that her argument for that is she believes that machines can be hacked. And for one, I would say is up to the county commissioners. They make sure that we have the best technology, secure technology, so it's up to them. And all the county commissioners are Republican, by the way. So it's kind of it feels a little bit nonsensical, but also the counter-argument there, of course, is, well, you say machines can get hacked, but I say people have bias. And so I'm really concerned about who's going to be counting my ballot, and are they really going to count it fairly? Not to mention, humans are prone to error. We all make mistakes. So, something to look out for. I want to bring that up about our county commissioners. Another thing that I'm going to bring up, because I just discovered this last Wednesday. I didn't even know this happened. Apparently this happened back in February. There is I guess it's a program, it's called 287G. 287G essentially is a type of thing where ICE enforcement, the power of ICE enforcement can be given to local police areas, police precincts. And apparently our sheriff has decided to onboard this program. I'm sorry, this is on the Denton County side, by the way. And in Colorado as well? Okay. And so apparently, I believe it was last February, I just realized that our county commissioners authorized this program. And while it is up to the sheriff to actually choose whether or not to be part of this program, it's the county commissioners who choose whether or not to fund that program. And so what absolutely disgusts me is that as a resident who lives on the Denton County side, my property taxes, my taxes are now going to a local ICE enforcement, which makes me absolutely livid. I mean, if I had a Republican in front of me, I would shake them by the shoulders and say, hey, look, your so-called big beautiful bill already gave, I forget how much, it's astronomical amount of money over the ICE. And yet, on top of that, you're now increasing my property taxes to pay for a local ICE enforcement. It really grinds my gears and is absolutely insane. But I just want to highlight that because it kind of highlights the importance of both, not just the county commissioners, but the sheriffs as well. Because it's between the sheriffs and the county commissioners that support that. Anyways, I just wanted to bring that up. And I also want to introduce somebody. This is your Collin County side chair for the Collin County Democratic Party. He oversees all of the precinct chairs, and if you want to become a precinct chair, you can definitely talk to him. Also with Sharon as well. I think we have some other Collin County precinct chairs here in the room. But Jeremy, do you want to come up here and say a couple of words, sir?
Hello, I'm Jeremy Frisco, the Collin County Democratic Party chair. Thank you. What I do want to talk to you about is the moment that we're in right here. This is an unprecedented authoritarian grab of power that's going on. And the only way we can do this, hopefully we still have elections next year, but if we do, and I think we will, we can vote them out. And to do that, what we need boots on the ground, people knocking on doors, explaining to them the critical nature of this election, what's on the ballot, and what the values are of the Democratic Party. And we need to give the people something to vote for. We can't just go and tell them what is bad about the other side. We need to give them something to vote for. Vote for a living wage that can make it so that you can still live in this area and work in this area. Vote for tax reform. Tax reform in terms of how we pay for our schools. Tax reform in terms of property taxes that are through the roof. Homeowners insurance, car insurance prices that are just like a second mortgage. And groceries that price gouging has gone and caused grocery prices to almost double in the last 2 years. And that's done not because that's the cost of done it, it's done because they can. Because they've gutted the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, they've gutted all the guardrails, and now they're just saying, just catch me. Catch me doing something wrong, make me go and fix it. Because they don't care anymore. Keith Self, who represents Congressional District 3, which I think now will include some of Frisco, he had some of his campaign staff at the 4th of July parade saying, with a banner that said, F your feelings. They don't care anymore. They don't care about us. They don't care about what's going on. They just care about power, money, and making sure that they stay in power. So, boots on the ground. That means you need people in every single precinct. Whether you're in Denton County or Collin County, it doesn't matter. Find out if you have a precinct chair. Look up your voting record, your voter registration record. It'll tell you what precinct you're in. Go to the Collin County website, CollinDemocrats.org, or the Denton County website. I don't know the address, but look it up. Just search and find it.
Denton.org.
Okay. And look up your precinct number. and look to see if there's a precinct chair. If there is, that's great. You're now going to join their team. You're going to join them and help them make sure that what a precinct chair does is they talk to their Democratic neighbors. We're not going to ask you to go and turn a MAGA and make them vote for Democrats. We're going to make you go to a Democrat and make sure they understand the stakes of this election and make sure they get out and vote. And that is all you have to do. Tell them what's on the ballot, when the voting is, and then hound them and make sure they get out to vote. Because we had 1/3 of voters in Collin County last time not vote for Harris or Trump. 1/3. That's 250,000 voters. Those voters would have flipped any race in the county. Easily, not even close. So we need to make sure that we get every single voter that cares about democracy, that cares about lifting up their neighbors and not stepping on them to go and push themselves up, lifting people up. We need them all out to vote next year, and we need to make sure that happens. So find out if you have a precinct chair. If you don't have a precinct chair, and you don't mind talking to your Democratic neighbor, become one. It's not that hard. Get rid of your imposter syndrome. You just need to be able to go and walk the neighborhood and talk to neighbors and get them out to vote. I'm going to bring up, Dale mentioned a couple of events we had. I'm going to bring up some other events. We have a whole bunch coming up. On Thursday night in McKinney at Collin College, we have our county executive committee meeting. That's where all our precinct chairs meet together. All Democrats are welcome to attend. There's one section of the meeting that's executive session that will keep you out of the room for a little bit, but then you can come back after. But you can come, you can listen to our speaker. Our speaker this month is Christina Morales. She's a Texas House member, and a great Texas House member that is going to be speaking to us via Zoom, but she's going to tell us all about what has happened in the Texas legislature. On the 30th, that's Saturday morning, and we have a Resistance Roundtable event. That is a community town hall event at the Gay Library in McKinney on El Dorado, not far from here. And please come to that. Find ways to get involved. Come with ideas and thoughts, because we can only do this all together. And then, as we mentioned, there's a Labor Day picnic at Taggart Park later that day. And then on the 1st, we have a Workers Over Billionaires rally and protest in McKinney on 380 and 75. And there's a coffee on the next Tuesday. And then our Collin County Democratic Party has a happy hour similar to this at Holy Grail Pub in Plano, just off Preston on the south side of 121. And that is just another event like this where you can meet other Democrats, but it's for the whole county. So I hope to see you guys out there, and I hope to see some new precinct chair sign-ups in both Collin and County. Thank you.
Thank you for that. You know, it reminds me, there's a couple of things I did want to say. Being a precinct chair can actually be quite fun. And we're not asking you necessarily to have to block walk all the time. A precinct chair is a volunteer job. Usually what I say is, start with literature dropping. That's just dropping literature at your neighbors' houses. And I would say literature dropping is actually the gateway drug to block walking. So, because I know a lot of people get scared when we say, hey, become a precinct chair and get to know your neighbors in your neighborhood, because people think that we're going to be like walking the streets going door to door. That's not the case. We know who the Democrats are. And the reason we know who the Democrats are is because here in Texas, obviously who you vote for is anonymous. No one knows who you vote for. But in the primaries, when you go up to vote in the primaries, you're given an option to vote either in the Democratic primary or the Republican primary. And that information is public. Not who you vote for, but in the primaries, whether you're going to be voted for within the Republican Party or the Democratic Party. And so, as a precinct chair, you can say, oh, this neighbor over here voted in the Democratic primary like 3 times. I'm going to want to get to know that guy because I know that guy's friendly, right? So I just want to put that out there. It can be a very rewarding experience. It's really fun. It's also really important because here in Texas, less than half of everyone here is registered to vote. And even of those, half of those show up to the voting booth. We have an extremely low turnout here in Texas. And that's why I always want to tell people, I say, hey, I know a lot of people think that, oh, this is a Texas, this is a deep red state, my vote doesn't matter. People say to themselves, the opposite is true. The opposite is true. The thing is, the lower the turnout, the more of a difference your individual vote makes. So it absolutely is important for you to vote. And it's also important for us to get more people out to vote as well. So, I mean, like, when I first discovered this vote, I was thrilled because I didn't think Democrats existed here in Texas. And I was so thrilled and happy to see that we do. And we're also getting mobilized and energized. Now, with that said, I want to move on to our candidate introduction. I think we have one candidate here tonight. He is running for the Congressional Senate. So we have a friend here. I believe he's going to be in a primary with Colin Allred. So, sir, do you want to introduce yourself? Our next Congressional Senator.
Thanks for the introduction and for having me. I'm fairly new to this, so. I'm Alexander Carpenter, and I'm running for United States Senate. Let's be real for a second. Our government is under siege by a pedophile so evil that the flames of hell have permanently stained his skin orange. He is a pillager who buys companies and bankrupts them for pieces. He is currently trying to sell America to white Christian nationalists and billionaires, but we are not for sale. They have convinced their base that their shared religion gives them a divine right. They've convinced their base that their shared religion gives them a divine right. They pretend they are the moral party, the Christian right. But they do not worship God, they worship money. They treat every person who doesn't worship money like a second-class citizen. And no person should have to worship money to have a good life. A third of our country has been brainwashed by corporate fascism, and we act like this is normal. It's become casual. We used to debate how to provide services, and now they try to convince you that people don't deserve them, unless it's for corporate subsidies. There are only two reasons that a person would ever vote for MAGA. Either one, you're a racist, and you have a white identity, and you think that at the end of this you come out on top. Or two, you have been conned and have absolutely no idea what is happening. There is only one thing that Republicans are better at, and that's causing recessions. That's why every single modern Republican president has caused a recession, because they do it on purpose so they can buy your businesses and your foreclosed houses for pennies. Many people think that they don't have to take action because good will always triumph over evil. So tell that to the Native Americans, or to the people who were kidnapped from their country and brought here to be slaves, or the 6 million Jews who didn't survive the Holocaust, or to any marginalized group throughout America's history. They talk like they want to move back to the 1960s, but they really want to move back to the 1860s. They try to claim Lincoln as one of their own, but they're still so offended that he told people they couldn't own slaves. Trump wants to move back to the 1760s so he can be a tyrannical king from before America belonged to the people. If we don't collectively stand against authoritarianism, we will lose our country. But there's still some hope. Tyranny cannot stand against unity. They depend on our division and on our silence. This isn't peacetime politics. We don't need mediators. We do not need messengers. We need warriors. Alexander the Great was a king killer and political unifier that saved people from tyranny. That's why Alexander means protector of humankind. I have 9 stepdads, so fighting off bullies is normal everyday life for me. I don't back down, and I don't get pulled to the right because they are loud and aggressive. And I know bullies well enough to know that they love taking advantage of people who are naive enough to think that they will compromise. Monsters do not compromise, and you do not compromise your freedoms. I'm also an autistic polymath. I like analyzing large systems, and I love solving problems, so I'll see things that other people don't. Like in the big bill, they tried to include a clause for artificial intelligence so that states wouldn't be allowed to regulate AI in voting machines. This way they could have put AI in voting machines that would manipulate the votes so that we would never have fair elections again. Not a single one of our hundreds of representatives caucus. If they miss this, what else are they missing? Clearly a lot, considering the state of our country. We need a new Alexander to topple the tyrants and bring freedom back to America.
And before that, again, that was Alexander Carpenter. He's running to be a congressional senator. So he's going to be taking on either our Senator Cornyn, who's really bad news, or Ken Paxton, who's even worse. So we really definitely need Democrats to stand up against our horrible current Attorney General and Cornyn. They're both bad news. So that said, I basically I'm coming to the end of this, but before that, one more time, I'm going to say, please, if you will, scan that QR code at your table here. Either donate or become a member. It really helps us out. Again, it doesn't only help out our club activities, but we're also a PAC, so we support local candidates. Actually, before I forget, I'm sorry, we did have one more thing we did want to bring up here. So,
Two things.
two things, I'm sorry, so two more things.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jesse. Thank you all for being here today. First, I wanted to let everyone know that we had an awesome event yesterday at the Denton County Democratic Party LBJ Obama dinner, and I just wanted to thank the organizing committee as well as Delia Parker-Mims and all the speakers, and there were several board members in attendance, so thank everyone that could come. Today, you can see my shirt is Ukrainian Independence Day. Sunday, August 24th, Independence Day of Ukraine is a state holiday in Ukraine celebrated on the 24th of August in commemoration of the Declaration of Independence in 1991. So if you have 5 minutes this week, please send an email to your representatives. Remind them that while it has been 2 years, if not longer, we have not forgot. We are here standing up for peace, and we want peace. Let them know. Will it matter? It does matter. Every voice they hear, every email, and every phone call moves the needle forward. Lastly, I am an artist, and we have a fun, large, life-size horse photo prop statue out front. I just want to thank Jay Spurgeon, Beer General Manager, for allowing us to bring it tonight, and Chris Waddell for sponsoring to have it here as well. And so if you guys, after you all eat, if you want to go take a photo with it before it gets dark, go grab a photo and then come back in here and mingle. Otherwise, when y'all leave, turn your flash on, grab a photo, and then when you share it on social media, Facebook, tag Spirited Stallion. All right? Thank y'all. Turn it back. All right.
Thank you for that. And also, before I forget, we also have a postcard campaign going on. So Sharon, you want to come talk about that?
These are from the Signs of Justice, and it's a very easy postcard campaign. I can only do 3 postcards each. So that makes it easy. One goes to Warren, one goes to Cruz, and the third one goes to whoever your house rep is. And it's all you don't even have to write a note. You just you can, if you want, you can add a note. There's already a note on the back. These talk about the majority, what the majority of us want. And this is 86% of the majority want background checks. 74% want trans rights protections. 70% want safe and legal abortion. And 70% want paths to leadership. We want to make sure that they don't forget this. So the goal of Signs of Justice is to get at least 1 million of these mailed into the offices of our senators and our House rep. So I give you 3. All you have to do is put your name on it and address it. If you don't already have your candidate, your senators and House reps address, very easy to find on the web. Just look them up. Because every one of their websites, they have their complete address, contact methods, and everything. So, but happy to give you 3 of these. If you'd like them, please just raise your hand and I'll bring them around.
All right.
Thanks for that. In the moment she said, you don't have to write a note, but you can do on. I'm like, or you could just draw a giant middle finger down there. But yeah, you just keep your hand raised or wave her down, she'll give you some. Again, I think she said that it's only 3 max, so that's great. And that said, I think we're going to close out. So one more time, I'm always obliged to say this before closing out. Please scan that QR code to support us. It doesn't support only this club, it also supports the local candidates as well. And one last thing before I close up is, please, I know it's going to sound a little bit much when I say this, but please do tip your wait staff. I know that we only have 1 waiter. I'm really sorry about that. Again, this is an off day for us. But it might be faster to go out to the bar and maybe order from there, but I'm not sure. But that's it. Thank you all very much for coming out. Again, if you want to see our events in the future, go to friscodemocrats.org or that's mobilize.us website. Thank you guys very much for showing up. And you don't have to go home. I suggest you stay and meet our good candidate here who's going to be running to try to take on either Senator Corey or that horrible, disgusting anti-Nazi. So please go meet our good congressional, your next state senator. Thanks for coming out, guys. It's good to see you.